While Mahmoud Khalil is fighting for his literal freedom and to remain in the U.S. alongside his pregnant wife.
I was born and raised in a Palestinian refugee camp in southern Damascus.
He's also a key subject in a new documentary, The Encampments, debuting this week in the U.S., detailing the 2024 student-led protests calling for Columbia University to divest from companies profiting off the Israel-Gaza war.
We need to do something more.
The film documents Khalil as he was a graduate student and a leading negotiator between the students and university administration last April. And with student voices becoming louder and encampments spreading across the country, Columbia began to crack down, saying students were disrupting campus life and creating a, quote, intimidating environment.
Police in riot gear moving in to clear an encampment of students.
The filmmakers moving up the release of the film in light of what is happening to Khalil now.
He really is the beating heart of this film. When we learned of his detainment, we were devastated. We really wanted the world to get a glimpse of that through this film and understand sort of the man behind the name and the headlines.
Directors Kay Pritzker and Michael Workman want everyone to see the doc, those that agree with the movement and those that do not.
I think you'll be shocked at what these students were actually talking about.
The film is produced by Watermelon Pictures, Breakthrough News, and Grammy Award-winning rapper Macklemore, who controversially waded into the war debate when he cursed out America on stage at a Palestine Will Live Forever charity concert, later apologizing, saying his, quote, thoughts and feelings are not always expressed perfectly or politely. Macklemore also releasing this track about the protests at Columbia.
What is threatening about divesting and want a piece? The problem isn't the protests, it's what they're protesting.
The filmmakers understand in this current climate and presidency, there is a potential risk.
Are you worried at all that the release of this film could make it more difficult for Mahmoud as he's in detention right now?
We've definitely been as cautious as possible, talking to a lot of different parties involved, and it seems that the consensus is that it's more important for his story to be told.
I don't think for a second that Mahmoud would be afraid for his own words to be shown to the public.
Khalil hasn't been charged with any crimes. He was taken into custody on the grounds that a person could be deported if they have, quote, adverse foreign policy consequences. The government now alleging he made omissions in his green card application. Khalil and his attorneys denying wrongdoing and citing his right to free speech in his defense. The president has made it clear the arrests will not stop at Khalil. Earlier this week, a Tufts student here on a student visa was arrested by plainclothes officers. 24 hours later, Secretary Rubio saying her visa had been revoked.
We gave you a visa to come and study and get a degree, not to become a social activist that tears up our university campuses.
Something the government hasn't provided any evidence for. Joe Howley, a tenured professor at Columbia and a good friend of Khalil's, believes the president is using anti-Semitism as a scapegoat and worries about what happens to Jewish people like himself when the dust settles.
He's telling a story that he's doing it in our name, and I think that's going to be very convenient for him now and very dangerous for all of us in the future.
A future the filmmakers believe could change if people see their documentary.
We also think it's a duty for people who have seen this film and who have met Mahmoud through this to stand up for him and say that if this can happen to him, it can happen to anyone.
And they say nothing they face could compare to what they see happening to Palestinians on the ground in Gaza. Yasmin Vasugian, NBC News.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.